we're back
again,
grading your Dynasty football trades.
Come on, baby.
Okay. Now, if you want your trade to appear on this video series, the process to be in contention is quite easy.
Super.
Okay. There's a link in the description to our Discord. Join our Discord, and then there's a text channel there that says Dynasty Trades. Anytime you submit a trade, we look through those trades, that channel every week, and try and find interesting trades to talk about. Can't guarantee that's going to happen, but check it down below. All right, the first trade we're looking at is from C. Knox. And he said, the context is, this trade happened in my Dynasty League and caused a bit of commotion. Any thoughts? Should we be concerned? Thanks, boys. So then I went, to look at if anyone had commented back at him. Apparently the commotion was that people thought that Team B gave up way too much value. So let's look at the trade here. You can see Team A, Deebo Samuel, Najee Harris, Garrett Wilson, and a 23-second. And then Team B, Saquon Barkley and Justin Jefferson. So I'll ask you first, who won this trade in your eyes?
I think it's clear for me that it's Team A.
Okay.
I mean, you get Deebo, Najee, Garrett Wilson, the 2023 second, excuse me. Even if Garrett Wilson doesn't hit, you have Deebo, even if Najee Harris.
Well, he's already hit.
He's already hit, like that's it. Right? I think that's the only concern. And I think a lot of people are having the question, well, what if Deebo doesn't come back, or what if he goes to another team? I don't think he can go to a worse team. I don't think he's going to go. I think he will go to a contending team if he does get traded. But I think those trade talk has kind of calmed down. I think he wants to be back on this team. I think, it was just all speculations for him to get that contract extension. It probably still will be until he gets that contract extension. But I am not worried about Deebo. I'm not worried about Najee. Garrett Wilson was my wide receiver one in this class, and I really love his landing spot. And that 2023 third, I keep saying this, 3 quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs probably have 5 top prospects each. So depending on where that second is, you can get a first-round value if everything falls right in the early second round. So I think that 23 first is tremendous. So I think Team A definitely won this. No doubt about it.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it from like startup value, right? Najee Harris is, in a super flex non-tight end premium league. Najee Harris is going early second round.
Correct.
Deebo mid third round. Garrett Wilson mid fourth round. And, Justin Jefferson is probably 108 or so. Saquon's normally a 4th, 5th, 6th round pick, depending on how far he falls. I really wanted to say Justin Jefferson. I really wanted to say Team B.
Right.
There's just far too much value on the Team A side.
Exactly.
There really is. But let me say this to clear any frustration for your league. This is what it costs to get Justin Jefferson. Okay? So there shouldn't be any frustration in the league, because this is what Justin Jefferson costs. Someone that young who has produced top 5 numbers already and has shown truly elite skill set. This is what it costs for Justin Jefferson. This is what it costs for an elite young wide receiver. So I don't think it's an overpay. I just think purely from team construction perspective, I would rather have Team A. I mean, I think the biggest point of contention here for me, Badaki, is when I look at Najee Harris versus Saquon Barkley. For me, that is a huge gap. That is a huge, huge gap.
Yeah.
All right. Saquon, if you look at when he came into the league in 2018, was the running back one, absolutely dominated.
Yeah.
Since then, it's been really up and down, and that's because he hasn't really been able to stay healthy. We have to be honest. I mean, in 2020, he was a running back 119, obviously because of the injury, of course, right?
Yeah.
Last year, in and out of, the lineup with injuries, running back 30. This is the last year of his deal. Do any NFL teams really want to give a big contract to someone who has not been able to stay on the field consistently for 3 years? No, I don't think so. But he'll get a contract.
Yeah.
He's 100% going to be a big part of a team, but he just worries me. He worries me.
Yeah,
and look at Najee Harris, already finished top 3 in his rookie year. 4 years left on that rookie deal. And, while he might get run into the ground, because that's what we see from Steeler running backs under Mike Tomlin, there's still 4-year window for a running back is incredible value. So for me, if you take out Saquon Barkley and Najee Harris, that's when I'm taking the Justin Jefferson side. If you take out Saquon Barkley and Najee Harris, okay? Because I have my own concerns about Deebo's health.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
I've talked about that before.
Me too.
So, we always try and look at these trades and say, well, when does it become an even trade? for me, I mean, I would argue that this becomes an even trade if Saquon's out and Najee's out, and then that 23-second goes to a third. Then I would say, give me Justin Jefferson all day.
Okay. I think
so. It's a really close trade, but you know, the Najee Saquon part is what throws me off the most, and I have to go with the team A side there.
Yeah. One thing I have to say is that, like you were saying, this is what it costs to, get Justin Jefferson, and like that's just a lot. I'm looking at this team. It's like
Totally.
I'm not trying to pay this right now. And yeah,
Exactly.
I may have my concerns on Debo. But I probably would have been like, you know what? Take the 2023 second out. I'm probably taking the Justin Jefferson alone, just purely because of how much I value that second right now. Maybe I'm hyping myself up and hyping the community up.
Totally.
But that second, once again, could be a first round value in that early second round, depending on what that is. So that's
when you think about next year's class, we've said this before, it is 5 deep at the 3 big positions: quarterback, running back, wide receiver. So how much I love Olave this year at the 107, how much I love George Pickens at the 201. Imagine Olave maybe at the 203 next year.
Oh my goodness. That's
because
what
of how stacked this class is. Imagine Kenneth Walker available at the end of the first. I mean, who knows? Because this is a really good class at every position.
Yeah.
So it's hard. I mean, like I said, I was really close here. I really wanted to say the Justin Jefferson side, but I just couldn't because this is what it costs.
Yeah.
And like you said, Badaki, I mean, maybe the bigger point here is maybe it's not time to buy Justin Jefferson. Obviously, it's not time to buy Justin Jefferson because you just can't buy him right now.
Yeah, it's too much.
But I don't think it's an overpay. I think it's what it would cost. I went Team A, B+, Team B, B-. I don't know where you stood
I
here.
did Team A and Team B, B. So I think that's pretty
much
that's
the same
pretty
thing,
fair.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, trade number 2 here is from Miles44. Shout out to you over there on Discord. Context: it's a 12-team Superflex PPR win now team. Okay, so this is a win now team. Team A, we got 2 trades involving Saquon, oddly enough.
Give it a say.
Saquon Barkley in the 107 in this year's rookie drafts. Then Team B gets Gabe Davis, the 112, and a 23 first. So I'll go first and I'll ask you afterwards.
Okay.
For me, it was Team B here, but it is close. Saquon or a 23 first? That's really my question mark here, right?
Exactly.
Let's start there. Do I want Saquon or a 23 first? This is an absolute stacked running back class in 2023, and all these guys are resetting their rookie contract window, whereas Saquon could be on, maybe he gets like a 1-year deal. Maybe he gets a 2-year deal. Maybe a 3. It's hard to say what team will it be on. How will he be prioritized? Will he be healthy? Whereas in 2023, you got Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Tank Bigsby.
Yeah.
You got Zach Evans, Devin Akane. I mean, this is a stacked running back class. All these guys, if it goes right for them, you could consider them in the first round. Obviously, Bijan's a lock there. So that's where it really breaks down for me. And then I looked at the 107 or the 112 and Gabe Davis.
Exactly.
This is interesting, right? So if I just look at 107 or 112 and Gabe Davis, 112 and Gabe Davis, for me, there's a huge tier drop from the 107 to the 112 in this year's rookie class, right?
Agreed.
That's the difference. In the 107, I could be maybe getting Olave, Jameson Williams, Garrett Wilson, maybe Burks or London if they somehow fall, right?
Yeah. Sky.
And then the 112, it's fallen off a little bit. It's guys that I love like Pickens, but it's unknown. Jahan Dotson, it's unknown. James Cook, it's unknown. So I'm not the biggest Gabe Davis fan. I know there are Gabe Davis truthers out there. I mean, when I look at I think a lot of those Gabe Davis truthers, no disrespect, but they came out during the playoffs, and that's good and dandy. But what did he do throughout the entire season? Legit, like if you look at his, it's good and dandy, right?
Yeah.
Where am I? But if you look at his season last year, he had 11 games where he scored under 7 points. Gabe Davis had 11 games under 7 points. So could there be a breakout? Maybe. I don't know if there's going to be enough consistency. I want as much stock as that 23 class, so I went Team B on this one.
Okay. Yeah. Look, I agree. I agree with you and Team B. One thing I want to say is like, yeah, Gabe Davis. I do believe I'm not a Gabe Davis truther, but I do believe in a breakout. And even though he may have a bad year, I do believe that was hindered because of Cole Beasley and everything that was happening. They were really trying to get the run game going. But I do believe now that Cole's out.
The issue without Jameson, Crowder's in, Khalil Shakir's in.
Yeah,
And so
can Jameson Crowder stay healthy? Usually not. But
we'll see. Yeah.
Either way, I everything that you said, you hit the nail on the head. I was thinking of the teardrop. I was thinking of these receivers at the 107.
Teardrop. Floater alert.
Floater. I was thinking about all these players that I can get, and once again, the 23 first is stacked. The 112, I'm okay with it because, I'm a believer in, for example, someone like a James Cook, a David Bell, depending on how you go.
I love George Pickens as well.
Exactly. George Pickens, Jahan Dotson, however the way your board falls. I'm actually really okay with any of those guys. So I think that's what put it over the top for me. As much as I love Saquon Barkley, and that's my guy, give it a say every single year. I wish. Let me ask you this. If Saquon Barkley finished top 15 running back, is this an even trade?
Like,
I know that's hard. I know that's hard to say, though.
If he's healthy, that shouldn't be an unrealistic expectation. That shouldn't surprise us if Saquon finishes top 15.
That's the hard part.
This is how far it's gone with Saquon. That he's so unreliable. We're like, hey, one of the most talented running backs in the NFL. What if he finished top 15?
That's what people are like. People are expecting to bounce back. So hey, Saquon Barkley, a guy that you said finished RB1 the year before. I think it was RB10.
Well, that was his rookie year. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like in that year, if he can finish there again, even this year, I've won.
So difficult.
That's probably what they're seeing. But it is tough to see. It's
tough, and I hate to say it, but he hasn't looked the same since that main injury. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I gave Team A a B+ and Team B a B-.
That's the exact same thing I did. I think it's fairly even. We just gotta wait and see how it pans out.
All right, comment down below. Let us know what you guys think about this one.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/FantasyLandFam.